You need to go upstairs. Goodbye. Bye. I said go upstairs. That's what I said. Go upstairs. Goodbye. Goodbye. You're not going to be down here walking around. Go sit down.
I mean, I was mad at those people by the time they got to my house.
Miss Gowdy.
He's cleaning up your messes all day and wait on you when you have a good time.
Achoo. 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 Achoo.
Miss Gowdy, can you hear me? Councilwoman Gowdy? Mr. Martin?
They were all just here.
Yeah, I was just,
Well, it says that they're still here.
right.
Okay, 6:30. Give me start the meeting.
Hi, Ms. Gowdy. You
Hey,
have,
how you doing?
everybody's here.
Contract and property is called in order. Could you please call the roll? Call toward the roll.
All right. Counselor Martin? Counselor Martin?
Present, can you hear me? Present?
Yes, we can hear you now.
All right.
Councilwoman Stevenson
Call toward.
Present.
and Councilwoman Gowdy.
Present.
You have all three of your committee members there.
Okay.
First up is your discussion. Is Mr. Fambro present?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, and we want to call for discussion. He's going to give a presentation.
Mr. Fambro, you can start your presentation. I don't see him on, Ms. Gowdy.
Hold up 1 second, please.
All right.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity to come before you and to discuss my proposal.
Could you state your name for the record, please?
Pick up, like you in the street. I'm William Fambro. I've been a contractor located in the city of East Cleveland now for 15 years in terms of offering professional services. My company name is Legacy Communications LLC, and the company has been in existence 43 years. So with that, I just want to say that this go around, I haven't seen any standards that the city is seeking. Whether you're seeking a quote or a bid, there should be standards by which you eliminate, just extra people who don't really qualify to do the work. One of the things under qualifications is having the carrying equipment that is professionally designed to do this type of work, this meetings type of work. And they make a variety of different cameras and other equipment for different jobs. A professional broadcast video camera is very different from a still photography camera, which most people have. Most people have some kind of camera that they take on trips and what have you, and they take pictures with. And the manufacturers of that type of equipment have been smart enough to have some video in the capability in the camera also. But those capabilities are not professional. The fact that a still camera can capture video, it only captures video for 20 minutes or half an hour. East Cleveland council meetings and any meetings here require much more runtime than 20 minutes or half an hour. The gear that my company has, Legacy Communications LLC, is professional, absolutely professional. And in this world, I'm going to show you in my world, this is what a camera looks like. This is a professional television production camera. This piece of equipment runs with a battery that costs $1,000. The tripod that this piece of equipment sits on costs $2,500. The camera itself, as you see it, with the audio package on it, is $20,000. Not $5, $8, $12, but the real thing. And that's what my company uses as professionals who work with the company come out to perform services. I had contracts in the city of East Cleveland in the past. And I just want to go through the proposal very quickly to bring out the highlights.
Start with this front page here. Will it mine?
Well, I have mine.
All right, okay, go ahead.
Mine was here.
Oh, here, I'm gonna go. Here, this is my stuff. Look and see what that. Hey,
Okay. And third sheet.
okay,
Can everybody hear him clearly?
yeah, speak up, Pembroke.
Okay. Now,
Can you pick up?
No, I can't hear him.
We can't hear you.
you can't hear me?
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, is that any better now?
That better?
Is that better?
Okay.
Yes, it's much
can-
better.
Councilor Stevenson, hear me?
Can
We can hear
everybody
you.
hear Bambro?
Yeah, he just needs to raise his voice up a little bit.
Okay.
Turn it up.
A further thing that I want to mention is when we work, and I'm saying we because I'm not one individual in my company. My company has personnel. We have a crew to come and do this type of work. This type of work cannot be done by one person, not correctly and professionally. We bring out a 3-member crew when we come. And we set the room up in advance of anyone arriving for a council meeting. We're there at least 2 hours before that meeting starts, setting up equipment in preparation for the meeting. Now, to people who don't do that or have that equipment, that's a very silly idea. Why arrive someplace 2.5 hours before it starts? If you got just a little still camera that's coming in, you can come in when the doors open with that. We have to come, we come in before that in order to set that room up. We bring a microphone for every person in the meeting. So all 5 councilors will have individual microphones. The clerk of council will have a microphone. If the deputy of council is there and needs to be seated in front to participate in the meeting, that person would have a microphone also. And the audience, of course, would have a microphone and podium set up with which to interact with council. A very professional setup is what we bring. We also bring a sound system out there. So not only are there microphones, but when you speak, you can be heard. This is a problem in our courtroom here. Lighting. If there's not enough light in that room, then we will bring light. We will light up everybody so you look like you're on professional broadcast television. That is why I went into business in the first place, to do the jobs right. And they require the right equipment and personnel. So I want to get that stated first. Going through the proposal, I want to direct everybody to page 1. Adopting this proposal is a game changer. The proposal will provide residents and viewers with firsthand information about what city officials are doing on behalf of residents. It will unite and connect residents with their city government, engender a sense of involvement, and build greater pride and cooperation between residents and elected officials. It will utilize community access television as part of the city's outreach plan, extend the city's message to many more citizens, and help generate larger crowds at meetings, local activities, and public events. Legacy will utilize 2 professional broadcast television cameras.
Who's that?
Could you mute your mic?
I don't know. It's going now. Go ahead, Mr. Bancroft.
Okay, high definition video has 2 components, audio and video. Legacy provides high definition voice and music clarity in our audio equipment and top-notch high definition video cameras in our video component. The same as ABC, NBC, and CBS, and all other broadcast television networks. There's a certain line of professional gear that we purchased, and that's what I'm bringing to your meeting, not something I got at a pawn shop or something like that for just a few dollars. This is I got in business to be the best, not to be somewhere not around the top. I need to be at the top because that's who I am. And so Legacy professional personnel arrives early to properly set up our mobile television studio equipment for producing council meetings so as not to delay the meeting process. We don't arrive with the audience. We've been there 2 hours or more to get that equipment set up so that everything works and there's no delay in that meeting. Within a week of our producing each council meeting, Legacy will deliver a legal video record to the council office. Council may choose to receive a DVD, which is standard definition, or a high definition video file, which I would recommend, from our returnable jump drive. Additional video records on DVDs will be made available to the public for a nominal cost. In response to our clients' needs, Legacy has become accustomed to working in many locations and environments, and we have evolved to operate as 3 separate companies simultaneously. We're a broadcast television production company. We're also a broadcast audio production company and a live sound reinforcement company. What do these words mean? Audio broadcast production means recording. We record with specialized equipment that audio, so the audio is perfect. Obviously, the camera equipment that we use gets the right picture and quality to that picture, just like any other broadcast station. And live sound reinforcement means a sound system that we bring into the meeting so that when someone speaks, their voice is amplified and they can be heard throughout that room. And these are the things that the council meeting needs. Our courtroom is not outfitted with any of this. And you walk in, you have nothing to work with. Just the camera alone cannot do all the things that I'm talking about. We are used to overcoming any obstacle.
Mr. Fambro,
Yes.
could you please just, and I already know your high quality of your professionals, but could you please give us an overall review of how much you want in different details?
Okay, well, of course, you can ask any questions that you have. But overall, what we are offering this service for, this service is actually much more money than we asked for in this proposal. I live here in East Cleveland, and I'd like to be the contractor. Once again, my company has been contracting in East Cleveland since the 1980s. We have been here, and Mr. Martin can testify to that. We've been here many, many years. We've actually located to the city and been here now 14 going on 15 years. So we are a business located here in the city. With a contract, we are taxpayers here in the city. So as a contractor by a company that operates from East Cleveland, the city earns back whatever the tax amount is. We pay those taxes. So
That's true.
people outside
That's
do
true.
not have that,
Okay.
cannot offer that. So there's somewhat of a reason within the city. I just want to cover one more thing, and that is that in conclusion, I know that East Cleveland, when you set up contracts, you have to allow for things such as this. I know that these council meetings occur on Tuesday evening. And I also know that twice a year, that's election day. And so built into our proposal is an automatic move over from Tuesday to Wednesday. Over the years, East Cleveland has traditionally moved council meeting night that falls on election day to the next day. And
Yes.
so we're prepared to answer that. When we lock a contract into place, we want that to be known so that there won't be a situation where we can't cover a meeting because it came on election day. So I want to say that. And I'll now just take any questions for clarification. Oh, the cost is $50,000. It's $49,999. $49,999. That's the cost of this proposal. And again, the points that I've made are why it should be accepted. And it's just on that price. So with that, I'll take any questions that you have.
Anybody got any questions? Anybody got any questions?
Yes, I have a question. My concern is the price is too high, and we don't have it. So, and all the years that I've been dealing with Fambro, I know he does quality stuff. So maybe this price can be negotiated. But I've been following the current cable station here in East Cleveland. And they basically now just provide internet. And here's what I anticipate is going to happen. And I hope that Brandon King is listening to this. I think that before the year is out, and this is just a projection, I think before the year is out, Spectrum is going to buy them out. This is a projection. Okay. Now, when that happens, I don't know what impact that's going to have in terms of whatever we have doing the video, et cetera. And when we get Spectrum and they have quality stuff, the prices are going to go high. Now, when they provide what this cable has been providing for us over the last 10 plus years, I don't know. But I'm almost sure from my conversations with certain people, and I have East Cleveland cable, that I don't see them finishing the year. I think there's going to be a change. So I don't know how that would impact you delivering your service. So my question is, if there's a change in the cable company, is that gonna change what you do? Will we be able to still what we used to get years from the cable station in terms of providing the meetings and all like that? Well, how would that impact what you're doing? That's my question.
Okay, it wouldn't impact anything in any way. The contracting between cable companies and cities is now handled by the state of Ohio. That became law in Ohio several years ago. And anything going on between a city government and a cable company can be, if there needs to be, if there's any issues, those are handled through the state. I think the Department of Commerce is the area where you would make a complaint to. But my guess would be it wouldn't affect anything. Whatever the city's got going on with the cable company remains.
So if Spectrum was to become the cable provider for the city of East Cleveland, you'd still do the same thing to provide the service that you're doing with this current cable,
Yeah, it
or
would,
used to do with this current cable
right.
company?
It would only mean that instead of East Cleveland cable, or it's not wind speed broadband.
Yeah, when speak broadband, that's what it's called.
Instead of dealing with them, then it would be a matter of dealing with Spectrum. Spectrum would have bought them, and Spectrum would have bought everything that goes along with it as well.
So they will be legally required to, if we, wherever we get, they'll be legally provided the meetings twice a month throughout the whole year.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and
All
if
right.
there are issues, you can complain to the state, and you have the city's attorney to follow up with that, so that the cable company, the new owners would understand what's going on and understand that they can't just walk out. You can't buy a company and then kill the city's channel.
Okay, that's my question. I'm through.
Anybody else? Anybody else have any questions? Mr. Austin?
Councilwoman Gowdy. I did want him to, can you say how much money he wanted for this potential contract again?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
You must know how much
I asked,
contract.
what was the cost of your services, sir? Annual cost of service?
I reduced this contract to $49,999. The real cost is much higher. That is a significant a reduction based on the fact that I'm based here in East Cleveland, and I've done this work for the city before without any complaints whatsoever. When we stopped offering services, it was because I could not follow what I saw going on in the administration at the time, and I decided to not be a part of the city anymore in that way. And since then, other things have happened. I am a person who got involved politically some time back and caused, through an effort of recall, the former mayor to be dismissed by the voters of the city, as well as the then president of council. And so there's political things going on around here that I might have to face in terms of becoming a contractor again. But I do want to state that for the record and put that out there. I'm very proud of what I did in the past. And since then, the FBI, the United States FBI, has followed up with charges against some of those people.
We're at the 1 minute mark.
Mr. Fambro, you can continue.
Well, it's open for questions at this point. The cost is, the quality of our work has been discussed, and the fact that the last contract that we had with the city was for $75,000. This contract, serving the council, is for $50,000.
$49.99.
$49,999.
I remember hearing that real good this time. Mr. Austin, do you have, Councilman Austin, do you have any more questions?
No, ma'am. Thank you very much.
I'm gonna recognize Ernest Smith on the line, on the video. Zoom.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions? Councilman.
My apologies. My apologies. My phone clicked out. I just want to say, it's good to see Mr. Fambro. Thank you for joining us tonight. I have no questions or concern. Well, I can't say that it was a I really don't know what's going on. I don't get updated as I used to around here, but I can say that from what I know, Mr. Fambro did an excellent job. Again, I don't know what's going on, but as far as I guess you all talking about work performance, I guess he's trying to get a contract with us again. Yeah, he would film things in the community as well as council meetings and various other meetings and things of that nature. I really don't know what went on. That was before my time, but thank you for joining us, Mr. Fambro.
You're very welcome, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. And I can recall him, if you asked him to come to different events, he'd be there too. So that right there really showed
That's that the
his commitment.
contract or the proposal before us is specific to council meetings. So, you know, it wouldn't cover things outside of that. So it's covering the regular council meetings.
I hate to interrupt, but Ms. Gowdy, you're running over on your time.
Okay, I want to recognize the vice president. I mean, the president. John, come on in, girl.
The president has nothing to say.
All right, we heard it from the president. Well, we going to move on. We want to thank you, Mr. Fambro, for coming to the meeting. And we hope that we can get something going on. If not, you know, we still be able a big try. So we're going to move on to the next agenda item.
Okay, thank you.
The next agenda item, legislation. It's resolution number 4420. A resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with the District Advisory Council of the Cuyahoga County General Health District for public health services for the city of East Cleveland, Ohio for the year of 2021 in the amount of $97,244. That's $5.45 per capita for the 2021 calendar, to be paid in equal semi-annual installments of $48,622 for the year 2021 and declaring an emergency.
I would like Nate Martin to sponsor this and not me.
Okay,
Madam Chairman, I'll be glad to sponsor. Can you hear me?
yes, we can hear you, sir.
I was sponsoring and moved with this to go to our meeting agenda. We have been dealing with this organization, if you can hear me, everyone, for many. Hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, for many years. And I know there's some concern about making a change. At this point, I'm in total favor of this group until we come up with a viable alternative. And we've been able to read and tweak it and ask the questions that we need to ask. At this point, we're near the end of the year. They have resources that the city's benefited from. In most situations, when they're called upon, they come through. So they have a track record. And for $100,000, I think we're coming out pretty fairly. So at this point, my suggestion, this is just my suggestion, is that if we want to go in a different direction for, let's say, 2022, since this contract will hopefully, if it's passed, will go into effect in 2021, then we got all the 2021 to look at getting somebody else. But at this point, I'm on the record in supporting this organization, the Kyle County Board of Health for 2021. And we read this, we've been over this 3 or 4 times. So everybody basically has know what they do, what it's about, etc. They've been to 1 or 2 of our meetings too. So I'm in favor of this going forward.
Thank you. Madam President, did you find an alternative?
What I did was, I made some recommendations to move this out of committee with the adjustments. There were 3 recommendations that I made. One was that we pay in 4 payments of one. Instead of paying 2 payments of $48,000, we paid 4 payments of $24,000. And I can't right now remember the other 2, but I have no problems moving this if we make some adjustments to this contract.
Was those adjustments agreed about?
Those adjustments were sent to everybody, but I don't have them in front of me.
Was they agreed upon the county?
We haven't gone to the county with them because this is still in committee.
Okay,
The county, once it comes out of committee, then the mayor can go back to the county and say, look, we need to renegotiate the contract. We need to make a few changes and move it forward from there.
Can I ask the question of
could you
Council
hear?
President?
Mr. Martin, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, my question is, let me see. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
My question is, let me move back. My question is there a difference between paying them the installments that we have before us or the ones that you suggest? What is the difference? That's what I'm trying to ascertain. What is the difference instead of?
The difference is 4 payments instead of 2. We're giving these people $50,000 a hit. Why can't we give them 4 payments instead of 2 payments? The other issue, I believe, was that there should be a 30-day out clause for both parties in this contract and actually in every contract that comes out of here.
I'm flexible with the payment schedule. I'm not hung up on. The main thing is that they get their $97,000. So I don't want this held up on that.
But I don't want to give somebody what you're doing is you're giving them 6 months worth of payment and they haven't done any work.
So
and let me just remind this council that this entity has collected more than $1 million. These people have been around since 2004. They've collected more than $1 million from the city of East Cleveland. I want to get this out of committee, okay? But I don't like what I'm seeing in the city.
So would you be comfortable, Council President, if we did the 4 installments? Would that help us to get the move? We need to get this done before the end of the year. So
I understand that, Mr. Martin. I said in the beginning, I'm willing to move it, but I think that those 3 issues that were referred to the council should be included in the contract. It's just that simple.
Thank you. And I would like to ask the mayor, what do you think about the county, us breaking up the payments installments? Will they accept that?
So Council Vice President, in regards to breaking up the payments, I don't see the necessity in doing it. It doesn't matter. We'd simply January 1st, write them a check, and then 3 months later, write them another check, and 3 months later, write them another check. Oh, I'm sorry. 4, it would be 3, 6, 9, 12. So we would write them a check quarterly at the beginning of the quarter. That's still the same as paying them half year. It's the same.
Madam Chairman, I'm all right with that. Just as long
I
as
am
they
too,
look-
as long as they
As
get
far as I'm
something.
concerned, as long as they get their $97,000, okay?
Well,
All right.
President Stevenson, are you okay with that? And what's the reason why you are doing this, so we can put it on record?
The reason is that they have not, this is a new contract, it's a new year, and they're asking for a 6-month installment up front. Now, let me give you all some history. If you go to the county and ask them on a grant or a contract or anything for 6 months of money up front, and you have not done any work, they ain't giving you no money. So my contention is simply that we would be paying them prior to them performing any of their duties. And I don't think that we need to get into that kind of practice. That's all.
Okay, so you're gonna have an attachment saying if they don't do the work, do we have an out?
No, the 30-day out is just a clause that you put in the contract that says that either party has a option of quitting the contract services with 30 days notice. That's all that is.
Okay,
Okay,
and
ma'am.
back to Brandon King. Thank you so much, the mayor. Do you think the county would accept that 30-day out?
So, Council Vice President, I have not read the contract in its entirety. The contract
I'm done.
is more than likely a standard contract that they have with the various municipalities throughout the county. So without looking at it,
The law department reads it.
yeah, I'm not sure. The law department reads it in its entirety. That language is standard language. It's probably in there. The payment terms are probably flexible. I think maybe the finance department just set it up that way, so they only have to write 2 checks. So I don't think them writing 4 checks is gonna really hamper what it is they do down there. We'd have to look at the language in the contract. Let me say this, and I don't mean to rub anybody the wrong way, but I will not go and renegotiate this contract. The contract is a contract we've had with them for years, right? I agree with Councilman Martin. If you want to change it, pass it, bring in a new company, let's vet them, right? Let's get a contract so that we can put it in place for 2022. This contract here, I'm not about to go renegotiate a contract with the county on the, what's today, the 17th? Come on. Come on, this is something you should have did months ago. So I agree with Councilman Martin. If you want to do it, let's pass it. Let's spend the year finding and vetting someone else.
Because you have to have it.
Yes, because we have to have public health in the city. I hope that answered your question, Council Vice President.
Thank you. And we really don't have much time on this, but I'm going to yield to Councilor Martin after I ask Willie Hemmons her endpoint on this.
Where I'm at is,
Wait a minute.
because we at the 11th hour, we need to go with what we have right now. Because in the bottom line, they will get it, and if we're dissatisfied with them, anytime in
We ain't
2021,
satisfied with them.
we don't have to get them in 2022. It's only a year. A year goes
No.
fast.
No.
So, Madam Chairman is so we can vote on it. And I think we need to vote on it as an emergency because we want this in place before the end of the year. That is to you, Madam Chairman.
Can I hear from Willie Hemmons on this?
Is she? I don't think she's here.
Oh, yes, she
Oh,
is.
I see her up there. Yeah. Can you get her on your screen?
Okay, I see Heather also. Somebody, could y'all come and talk about this so we can know more details?
Yeah, whatever you guys want to do, if you talk to the counselor, the general counsel, Tom O'Donnell, if someone wants to make some modifications, then there should be a designated person to Mr. O'Donnell in order to discuss this. If you move it out, then you can bring back your report after you've discussed it with the legal counsel, Mr. O'Donnell. I gave the number to you in several emails.
Did you,
Okay, thank you,
I
Willie.
really don't think we have time at this point to do that. I think that if we want, I think we need to go with this now, because we're up against the 11th hour, and then we got all of 2021 to tweak it, to have them come in. They have no problem coming before us if we have any problems. To have public health coverage, even though we would like to get much more. So my recommendation is that we go with what we got right now, and we've got all of 2021. I hope I'm not redundant. To make changes, to get somebody else in here, prepare someone for 2022. So I'm asking you, Madam Chairman, that we move this forward as it is. Thank you.
Okay,
Chairwoman, you got to move on. You've got four more pieces of legislation.
So I'm asking that you move forward to the agenda, okay?
I would like to move this other committee into agenda.
Thank you.
Okay, can I also co-sponsor that legislation?
Say that
I'd like
again.
to co-sponsor that legislation.
Yeah, I sponsor, I'm the sponsor.
I want to co-sponsor,
You
sir.
co-sponsor too. We love
Yes,
to have
thank
you
you.
co-sponsor, Austin. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Forward, Madam Chairman, thank you.
All in favor?
Aye. I mean, we don't vote on it, but it's moving forward to the.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. Thank
Good to move
thank
on.
you, Madam Chairman. Thank you for your cooperation and your patience. Okay, thank you. Let's move back to the next one.
Hey, next, this piece is going to move forward to the agenda review.
Thank you.
All right, next piece of legislation, resolution number 4620, a resolution to authorize the mayor to enter into a municipal fleet lease to own contract with NCL Government Capital to lease purchase a fire truck, an EMS ambulance, a snowplow truck, a snowplow truck 1 and 2, and a street sweeper at a combined cost of $1,483,039 for the public health and safety and welfare. This is requested by Mayor King and it's sponsored by Ms. Gowdy.
We already discussed this already, and I know that this is something that the city really, really need, and I'm excited for it. So I definitely want to remove it and put it in
On
the agenda.
And Madam Chairman of Contractor Properties, I concur that we need this equipment, and I'm hoping this has helped us spend some of this COVID money. So I'm definitely in favor of getting the fire trucks, the snow plows, the street sweeper. We definitely need it. So definitely let's move that forward to the agenda, please, Madam Chairman.
Any
I
more
would also like
discussion?
to, I would also like to co-sponsor, and again, I do appreciate the discussion we had prior to this coming up in this committee again. So it's a phenomenal opportunity for the city, and I'm looking forward to having these items in a health and safety queue for our city.
The co-sponsor on this too. Thank you.
Nate and Council.
Tracy Peters,
Yes, sir.
did you get the two co-sponsors, me and Austin?
If you look, sir, on the screen, I've already corrected it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
let's move on.
All right, resolution number 4820, an ordinance to authorize the mayor to enter into lease of purchase agreements for the acquisition of city vehicles for the use by the departments of fire, Silverado 2500 4x4 W2 Crew Chevrolet service, Silverado 3500 pickup truck with uplift is for building and housing, Ford Transit Connect E9E passenger wagon and Police Transit 350 cargo van with upfit on the terms and conditions reflected in Exhibit A attached here too, and declaring an emergency for the public health and safety and welfare. Requested by Mayor King, sponsored by Councilwoman Gowdy.
Yes, again, I really support this, but the building and housing, some kind of way, can that be taken off?
Which one?
The building and housing
Hold on one
for
second.
transit. For transit.
Hold on one second.
Can we
That,
discuss?
that's how it was sent down to us.
Is it time for a discussion?
And I just would like to know, with discussion, why do you need it?
I'm not in building and housing. This is Councilman Austin. I think that during the budget hearings, the director of building and housing said that they were using their personal vehicles to conduct the inspection. And they wanted a vehicle, a city vehicle, if you will, to truly represent the city. When they pull up, there's a city vehicle with a city logo on the door to conduct the inspection in official capacity and not use their own vehicles to conduct those inspections. And if they need to take out equipment, I'm sure the truck that they're requesting would actually be a good thing to have to move around their inspection equipment and so on and so forth. But the director did say he actually needed the vehicles. They wouldn't have to use their personally owned vehicles to conduct the city inspections.
There's a Jeep outside and council need they own.
I am 100% with you. And that Jeep is one of those items that's being turned in as excess because it's broken down multiple times. And I think they had a little accident in that little Jeep.
What about council? We do not have any cars.
We already approved the council vehicle like several months ago. So we are just waiting on the shopping for that vehicle and or the decision to be made about the type of vehicle that will best support this council. So more to follow.
Council President, what do you think about the council car?
You don't really want me to tell you what I think about it. So what I'm gonna say is I have no comment.
Okay, any other questions? She has.
I'd also like to co-sponsor this legislation moving forward.
All right. Got it, Mr. Austin.
And Miss, if you can hear me, I'll be a co-sponsor on this also.
All right.
I'm sorry, I really need to keep this in committee because I definitely need to hear from the mayor about the council car also.
He's here.
Is council getting a new car? And when is it expected? Mayor King, he's sitting there.
Council, I'm sorry, I've been catching bits and pieces of it. What was your question, please?
I was asking about the council car. When is we gonna be getting our car?
Are you referring to a new car, Council Vice President?
Yes, I am.
So, Council Vice President, if you and your colleagues would sit down, or however you determine to go through what it is your needs are in regards to a new council vehicle and fully outline what that is and present it to me, I could better answer that question. I know that it's been talked about before, and if I'm not mistaken, I think you did pass legislation. I'm waiting on you. If I bought you a car, Council Vice President, I'd buy you a Pinto.
Because you love your toys.
Yeah, I buy you a Pinto just to put
I
Councilman
sure
Martin in
enough
it.
can't fit in no Pinto.
I'm just waiting on y'all, that's all.
So
We can move this legislation forward.
So we, with him as soon as we can and discuss getting an adequate vehicle, okay?
Okay, so
Four.
resolution number 48 is moving forward to agenda review. Next piece of legislation, resolution number 5220. A resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with the Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District, the district, pursuant to the district's management agreement with the city as reflected in resolution number 516 by using the city's community cost share funds in the amount of $300,969 for the district approved community cost share operation Clean Sweep 2 project over the next 5 years, requested by Mayor King, sponsored by Councilwoman Gowdy.
Could you explain to me what this is all about? Mayor King.
Yes, so Council Vice President, this is the street sweeper that we are looking to purchase. And I'm not sure if it's worded correctly. Well, I am sure because the law department put it together. So this is the street sweeper. Rest assured that there's only one street sweeper. So depending on how the negotiations pan out with NCL, it will either be resolution 4620 that we will be acting upon, or it will be resolution 5220 that we will be acting upon. This just gives us options. So it doesn't, and there's no way I'm buying 2 street sweepers. We don't need 2, and that's not the intent here. I hope that answered your question.
Councilwoman Gotti, can I make a note?
Okay, I really want to ask a question. Can we just X this out and concentrate on 4620-20?
Is it because of the way you're?
Since it's already in there.
It's already in there, but this gives us a little flexibility when negotiating with NCL so far as the purchasing of the vehicles.
Mayor, may I? This
Yes,
is Willa.
Go ahead, Will.
Yeah, the street sweeper that is in 5220 would be reimbursed by the sewer district. It would come out of our cost share monies, so we would not have to pay for it. Did you understand the
Can I add
supporting
information to that?
documentation? Jeffrey Jowett over at the district would approve paying for the street sweeper because that would enhance the ability of the city to absorb the sewage and the runoffs. Okay?
Can I add to that?
So should we take the sweep?
The street sweeper out of 4620?
Yeah, we need to take that out then and go with the.
Can I share some background on that?
Or will we get a better deal by being there?
Yeah, Councilwoman Gowdy, can I share some insight or some history on this cost share program?
I recognize Councilman Alston.
Thank you, ma'am. Every year, as the residents in the city pay their bills, either on their taxes or through direct payment back to the sewer district, the sewer district takes a portion of that money and gives it to the city so they can have some capacity to either keep the catch basins clean, roads clean, stopping the leaves from backing up the storm drains and so on and so forth. And those dollars is what we've been using to purchase some of the equipment for the service department so we can perform those additional services. And these dollars that are discussed in this piece of legislation reflect our ability to use those dollars in advance through legislation so that once we get those dollars approved, that we can use them in advance, we can take that money and buy the street sweeper. These are the dollars that, we've earned through our residents paying their bills to the sewer district. and those dollars can be used to maintain the sewer support and infrastructure, I should say, for the
Yes.
residents that pay those bills. So these dollars are, a reimbursable. So if we pay $50,000 this year, $50,000 next year, that's how we get this thing paid for without having to have too much impact in the long term in a general fund. And if we were close with our credit with the agency that's going to prepare the lease, when they see that we're going to get this money regardless, that credit limit would be impacted in a positive way by these guaranteed dollars from the sewer district. So that's my interpretation. Anybody's thoughts, or can you explain the program a little bit better for the benefit of the council, Mayor?
Thank you, Councilman Austin, for your presentation.
Yeah, that was very good.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, Council Vice President, if you'd like me to expound on it, I can. So the councilman was right on. Very informative, and thank you for that. So what happens is I write grants to the county in regards to, I write grants to the sewer district in regards to that fund. And if approved, they will pay for it. So having this in here allows us that option if this grant is approved. If not, or we can always use the NCL financing. That's why having both of these in here allows us that flexibility. One of the things I didn't really know until is that the companies give you estimates on what your financial rate will be. So we need council to pass the legislation before they give us a hard, okay, this is your interest rate. The rest of them were just estimates. So that's why that is a long answer to why we need the flexibility in having both of them in here. Council, I need you to trust me. I think many of you do. It's only one street sweeper. We're not buying two. We're only buying one, right? This just allows us flexibility and options so far as how we procure that one street sweeper.
A lot of this equipment break down a lot. So how do you know that this is the best equipment? Have you researched different types?
Thank you, Councilwoman. Yes. So I have researched the different street sweepers, and the Timco is one of the top rated brands. Many municipalities throughout the state use the Timco brand. So I have done my homework. As many of you know, I am a CDL driver, so I have tested the equipment. As we had the guy out here August, he actually bought the equipment out for us to look at it, and I went and looked at it. So yes, I did do my due diligence, as one of the former council persons would say. So yes.
Okay, I thank you. But the most important thing is we need to know if the service department have experience, because we do, in the proper training of these equipment so they won't be broken and tore down before we even get it on the next or fourth streets. You know, sometimes it get broken, our equipment, so. Do we have money for training for them, or who going to train them to work these equipments?
That's a great question. Great question, great insight. Yes, the company that's selling it to us happens to be the same company that gave us the Leaf Act, and they were out a number of times training the employees on the Leaf Act, and they will come out a number of times to train the employees for the street sweeper. One of the things I forgot to mention, all of the vehicles in the lease are at the minimum 10 months out. I believe the fire apparatus is 1.5 years before we can take delivery of it. So that's why I'm trying to, get these to you fast but slow, because I want you to understand what we're doing and why. So even if you pass this, by the time we execute the lease to purchase, we won't see this thing until this time next year. At best.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Any more questions? Okay, I see there's no more question. We're gonna move on. We're gonna move this.
To act on this, let's move this to agenda so we can act on this, please, okay?
We're gonna move this to agenda.
Thank you.
All right, the next piece is ordinance number 50.
Before you move there, Tracy, put me down as a co-sponsor of this, please.
Anybody else?
I would also like to co-sponsor this legislation.
All right. Next, ordinance number 5320, Tamia Chapman Law, an ordinance to stop all warrantless pursuits. Those entering the borders of the municipal corporation of East Cleveland on warrantless pursuits from another municipal corporation whose legislative authority has not entered in to an agreement with the city of East Cleveland pursuant to revised code 2935.03. This is requested by Councilwoman Juanita Gowdy and sponsored by Councilwoman Juanita Gowdy.
This revised code telling everybody that we need to have agreement with these of the other cities. Because they are running wild out here, they tearing up the cars and everything else. So we really need agreement with other cities with contracts. And I really want to ask the mayor, what is he doing to slow down on the, they still can hear me. Mayor, I really want to know, what are you doing about the slowing down on the chases?
So in regards to your question in slowing down on the traces, what we've done in-house is we have brought in Ronnie Dunn, who is a leading expert in sensitivity training, to kind of make our police re-educate them, because as you know, a lot of times you graduate and when you don't have re-education or continuing education, some of the things you may have forgotten or may not deem as important as when you first got training. So part of what we're trying to do here in the city of East Cleveland is to do re-education and retraining of the officers as to, hey, this may not be that important of a chase, right? A breaking and entering may not be that important. So you don't have to chase them. We've already instituted no chasing of the motorcycles and the four-wheelers. So that's what we're doing in-house. So far as other police departments, I'm not sure what they're doing, but you know, that's what we're doing here in East Cleveland. Continuing education so they can cut off chases that aren't warranted, as you would say.
Okay, thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Councilman Martin.
Can you hear me, Brandon King?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
The chase situation is a real intricate kind of thing, and we probably need to do a little more research on the legality of the chases, because we've been talking about this for a while. I would commend you. When I look at our vehicles, we have now some of the best vehicles in the state of Ohio. Okay, we definitely have some of the best vehicles, but guys, we don't want to tear them up chasing people. So I walked out of our meeting 3 hours ago and saw one. It wasn't in bad shape, but you can tell it hit something. So, and then there's one that I go home every day is pretty well damaged. So from a common sense standpoint, I would like to make a suggestion that kind of talk with your key people that if it's a chase, that if we got all these brand new vehicles and we got more vehicles under your watch in the last 4 or 5 years than we have in a while, we don't want to tear them up. So that's just a suggestion. Okay?
Absolutely. Thank
All
you.
right, thank you. All right.
This law is for Tamia Chapman. And I really want to honor her in that because a young girl got her life taken because of the chase. 137 bullets because of the chase. Accidents, car accidents, children is getting hurt in vans because of the chase. So we have to really look into this, and we want a contract with other cities. So if they trying to chase anybody over here in our jurisdiction, they definitely need to be held accountable. So I'm definitely going to move this out of the committee. Any more questions?
Councilwoman Yadi, can we, I'm not opposed to having some legislation to, reduce the number of cases in our city. I did not have the privilege of looking into all the background, but I do agree that there is some chases that can be averted, but some of the folks that are being chased are, have done some really egregious things. So I don't know if it's by type of vehicle or, we don't know who's driving. So it's my opinion that some of these criminals got to be caught, bottom line, because they have, truly did some egregious things. So I don't know how we write that and if it requires some prior coordination and or discussion with the cities around us saying, hey, if somebody's leaving your city, give us this information. I think there is some collaboration that goes on already, but I think that we should probably leave this in committee at least for another term. So we got to ask our police their opinion on how we make better coordination with the surrounding cities to get the information they need so they can have some either spike strips, which we've got recently, and or some roadblock material in certain large thoroughfares along the city to kind of have these folks, know that it's not okay to drive through East Cleveland because they're not going to chase you. So we have to have a deterrence mechanism as well as some resources that can help the surrounding municipalities where some of these chases originate all the way from the west side of Cleveland, all the way through East Cleveland, which took that young lady's life. So there's some coordination required, and I don't know if we can get a little bit more information, I would really feel good about it. I do support the stop the chase for things that make sense, but some of these folks that are being chased, they're running for their lives, and nothing you do, whether it's legal or illegal, is going to stop them from running. So,
Council Chair,
thank you.
Yeah,
Council Chair,
yes.
yeah.
Who's
H.
speaking?
This is Willa.
Okay, thank you,
Okay.
Councilman Austin.
Okay. Recognition, Council Chair.
Yeah, I recognize you.
Okay, each city has a vehicle pursuit policy that you can examine and you can look at. Also, before any police officer who's chasing someone enters another city, they are supposed to get permission and acknowledgement from that city. And sometimes they do not. And that's where they get into trouble. And that's where the constitutional rights of people are being violated. But if you would like, the law department would be happy to collect some of the vehicle pursuit policies from surrounding cities so that you can study them and examine them. And we would email them to your committee members if you would like.
Well, we definitely going to leave this in committee right now, but I do want to thank you. And I'm going to ask the mayor a question.
Wait, before you move on, before she asks that question, Willie Henderson, we definitely need that information. Would you,
Okay, no problem.
Juanita Dowdy, so we can peruse that? So, when I talk to people, they say the state law, then you're a lawyer, and you kind of know the different laws. But I think going Cleveland and Euclid Euclid and Cleveland Heights and those surrounding areas with us with some type of agreement where we're pursuing someone in Euclid and someone from Cleveland Heights pursuing someone in East Cleveland, that we have some type of agreement, I think it would be productive. So definitely get that information. I think this conversation is gonna go on for a little bit longer, but the more intelligent information we have, it allows us to make intelligent decisions.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Martin.
Thank you.
This is to the mayor. Mayor and Councilor Martin, we supposed to be working together, right?
Right?
Well, McDonald really do need a body camera. And Mayor King, what is you gonna do about that? Because you cannot have everything. Give me something.
So Council Vice President, I believe at least 2 weeks ago, we got new body cams. And he was issued a body camera. I believe all officers are issued body cameras, and I don't think they have to share anymore. I think they have
They all have their own body.
they have their own individual body cam. So he had,
Larry was mic'd up about two to 3 weeks ago.
yeah, so Officer Larry McDonald was mic'd up maybe 2 to 3 weeks ago. So he has his personal body cam at this point, yes.
So I need you to make a commitment that Larry McDonald have the body camera on every time he leave this building.
I will make a
That's
commitment.
policy.
And
That is
every time
policy.
he interact with the public.
That's policy.
That's policy that he has that on. So we will speak
Okay.
with the police tomorrow to make sure that that policy is upheld.
So if I see him right now, he should have his body camera on. That's what you're trying to say?
There's an interaction.
If there's an interaction and he is in uniform at work, yes, he should.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Chairman, you're at remarks from the public, limit 2 minutes now.
Remarks from the public.
Limit of 2 minutes.
What I do need.
Remarks from the public. If there's none, we will move on.
Hey, just to make sure everybody's on the same page, Chairwoman, we are moving resolution number 4420, resolution 4620, resolution number 4820, and resolution 5220 to the agenda review agenda scheduled for Tuesday, December 22nd. Am I correct?
5220 needs to go back in committee. We don't have enough information to really act on that.
On 5220?
53.
53 is the 53?
Yeah, 53.
Right, no, I didn't say 53. I meant the ones ahead of it. 4420, 46, 48, and 52.
I stand corrected. Okay.
All right.
Because the mayor said that he's gonna make sure McDonald have his body camera on. We're gonna leave this in committee 53-20.
Right.
All right. Everything else moves over.
And
Thank
Tracy,
you.
make sure that we get that information from the law director, Willie Hendricks, on the policies, these kind of safe policies around the county, okay?
Certainly.
All right, you want to ask for an adjournment now, Ms. Scouty?
Remarks from the mayor.
He's still there?
Thank you, Council Vice President. Thank you, councilors. Thank you, everyone. Great meeting. That's, unless you have any questions, that's it for me. Thank you.
Remarks from any council.
Brandon, are you still there? It's Brandon. Brandon? Am I on?
Yeah.
No, it's unmuted.
No.
Yeah.
Business.
Hello? Kyle there. Hello?
Councilor Martin, we can hear you.
Okay, I'm trying to hear, I need to talk to Belinda Kyle or Brandon King.
What is this?
What you need, man, what you need, Councilor Martin?
Okay, we were too busy today and I didn't get a chance to do my benefits. So when can I do them? I want to get it done before the end of the year. My health benefits for 2021.
Councilor Martin and all council members, if you are enrolled in healthcare, send me an email and I'll set up a one-on-one with you. Because I have to get the paperwork turned in by December 23rd. So those of you who were not able to attend the Zoom, send me an email of your availability and I will make myself available to you to make sure we get your 2021 enrollment processed. So Councilor Martin, you want to stop over tomorrow? Send me an email, tell me what time.
Well, I'm coming up there
I'm
at
coming.
the end of this meeting so I can do it while I'm here because I'm going to go upstairs. So I'll be up there.
I wanted to go home. Okay, come on up.
Okay, she's Martin.
So
Council, I'll do you tonight. Come on up.
She don't have time for that, Martin.
Come on up, Councilor Martin. I'll take care
Time
of
to
it.
go home. She do not have time for that, Martin.
Councilman, no, that's fine. Councilman, you can come up tonight. I'll take care of it now.
But then I'm coming up too. Take.
All right, come on up, Council Gowdy. I'll take care of you. That's no problem. Come on up.
And I want to say in my closing remarks of the last contract of property meeting of the year, I want to commend Brandon King and the administration for getting.
They cut him off. Why'd you cut him off?
He cut himself off. Mr. Martin,
Yes. You cut me off?
he hit that button.
No. Oh,
That's that button.
okay, can you hear
So
me
be
now?
nice.
We can hear you fine, sir.
Thank
You did hit that button.
Well, I want to thank the administration for all they've done to move the city forward. We've made some progress. We've had our
They cut him off again.
us having our meeting in executive session before the end of the year, and I'm counting on Brandon King and Corbin Stevenson to bring that about. We're moving forward. I want us to go in year 2021 as far as we can get there, but we need to sit down and work out.
Mr. Martin, you keep fading out.
Okay, this is why I don't like this stuff.
That's
Okay.
right.
You know, I'm sitting in front of this thing
Yeah.
and I'm not touching anything and it's going in and out. Forget about it, okay? All right, move on. Forget it. Okay. I'm through, move on.
Okay,
When it's over, I'm
what time
coming
is
up there to set up my meeting.
The time is 7:50.
Mr. Councilman Austin, do you have anything that you would like to say?
Yes, I do. I want to thank the council for finding solutions to problems and being able to recover from some of the, I'm gonna say, dissent that could potentially keep us held in one location. I applaud us as a council for continuing to press forward towards the mark. We do have a ways to go, but I am appreciative of the progress that we've made to get us to this point. So I ask that you all be safe and continue to take care of each other along the way. May our residents be blessed and continue to focus on the things that are at hand, and everybody has a role to play. And I will do my best to hold up my end. So thank you very much for all you do. Take care.
Thank you very, very much. I move that this meeting be adjourned.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The meeting is adjourned at 8:50.
Great.
7:51.
51. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, cool.